the Superdome. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Los Angeles Rams and the New Orleans Saints. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. The first throw, here's Winston. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A good start, one play, 10 yards.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And some room to maneuver. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Give them 18 there, and the Saints have a first down. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive, INT. The Saints at 6-4 now on the year. Well, they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So, you know, they just want to come out, play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that. Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Jameis to throw it. They complete it to Hill. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that's going to make it 4th down. So on trots the field goal unit. And wow, this is going to be a challenge here. They spot it on the midfield stripe. So it is a 60-yard attempt here. The kick by Lutz is good. Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still a very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further. And you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg and boom, over the crossbar.
Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll begin on the ground with Akers. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And we often talk about defensive ends setting the edge, sometimes even the outside linebackers. But how about here? This is a cornerback essentially setting the edge and finishing off that play for a loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Stafford, he'll dump this off to Akers. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Trying to find Cup, but it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. And that was one that I kind of saw coming, charging a free safety, just hanging back there over the middle, waiting, and he saw that ball go in the air, and he jumped on it.
And I don't know why the quarterback didn't see that. That was just your standard cover 3, which means the free safety in the middle of the field, the 2 corners, and they divide the field in thirds. But when you have a free safety with range, like a good center fielder, he can go from side to side and make plays on the football as he did there.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. On the carry, this is Scott. And he'll take this one down to the 36. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 3rd down, Winston. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. That one on the guard, Cesar Ruiz. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Working out of the gun, Winston. He is going to find Hill here. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. A bad time for a roughing penalty. And they get the gift of a 1st and 10. They'll run with Scott. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage.
And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. That'll go for a gain of 7. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Now Winston on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires, and that will force a turnover on downs. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They trailed 3-0 after the INT last time led to a field goal, but now another fresh start here, 1st and 10. First play of the drive there is incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Stafford. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a 1st down.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Off the fake to Akers. Here's Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Pete Werner in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
They just gave up a sack there, if I'm not mistaken. They gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That gain on 3rd down, good for 28. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Pete Werner, now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play. Nothing after 1 on EA Sports. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. They'll get this one to Kupp, complete. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. And, Charles, you wonder about this defense coming in. I mean, look, it's no secret they're playing a team that's down on its luck right now. Losers of 5 straight. How does that change how you prepare for a game?
Well, to me, the first thought is you just get after them early, right? Take away any chance of them building any confidence. But the second thing is you prepare a little bit differently. You've got to expect this team to take chances, go for it on 3rd and 4th downs, run a lot of trick plays, anything.
And he's going to go down. They sack it back at the 42. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to it. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball in his hands a lot quicker.
Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7 though on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left, early in November, but they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least 1 home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Taylor Rapp with a pick. And the Rams are going to take possession of the football. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. And the last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Stafford. And he'll throw this one away. I don't think he's out of the pocket, no. Here comes the flag.
We saw it, too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you've got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose it down on the grounding call. To throw is Stafford.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least. If they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
And Gay knocks this one through, and that will tie us at 3-3.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Yeah, it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not have the balls go through goalposts.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go again with Scott. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Throwing on 2nd down. Winston. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And now the Rams have got it. Going the other way. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
You certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time, completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
A good pick up there, 26 yards.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
They'll run on 1st down with Akers.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
And that was back-to-back really nice plays. Some of the offenses call them explosive plays. Pick up nice chunks of yardage, and now they're set up 1st and goal inside the 10. How'd you like to be the defensive coordinator right now? What can he dial up to flip the momentum and stop him on the next play? Maybe decides to come with a little bit of pressure.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
You don't see too many cornerbacks coming up with hits like that in the running game. He announced his presence right there and knocked it back for a loss.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Here's Stafford. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? Stafford. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Matthew Stafford with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year.
And the Rams have taken the lead.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead is now 10-3. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. On 2nd and 10, Winston. That pass is caught by, and a loose football. And now the Rams have got it going the other way. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Hey, I'm all about defense forcing plays and getting takeaways. But an interception and 2 fumbles in their last 3 offensive possessions.
Time to readjust?
Yeah, you can't just give all the credit to the defense on that. They've got to look in the mirror and take a blame themselves and figure out how to not do it anymore.
Stafford going to give this to Akers. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Stafford looking underneath. He's got Akers. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try to cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Down, and we go from one Matt to another. Stafford heads off. Matt Gay gets set for the Rams field goal. Gay's kick is good, and they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down. Now Winston. And he rifles it complete, caught by Landry. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the 1st down.
Got an open man. It's Scott. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. 2nd and 15. Jameis again. He finds Hardy on the slant.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half on as the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. The kick by Lutz is good, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about.
And that flag accepted.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, this a 31-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've come to halftime. It's the visiting Rams taking the lead to the break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, in the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Stafford now to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now it's Stafford.
And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Here's Hardy set to return. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points. The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
Now Scott. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The Rams go nickel here defensively on 3rd. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage, because he lines up on the right and runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
Here's Scott. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
57 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but man, his first step is so quick too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Boston Scott, his first touchdown on the year. Will Lutz on for the point after. It's right through, and we are now tied at 13.
That ties the game.
Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Rams take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown, so every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually, but first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Looking to throw again on second down. Stafford. And that's incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Throwing is Stafford. Trying to find Cup, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
On 2nd and 1, Winston.
Pass complete. Finds Thomas going across the middle. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss.
And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked by his former FSU teammate Jalen Ramsey. 20, 10, 5, and he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown.
Well, that's what you get, apparently, when you try to take on a Pro Bowl cornerback. And what a play there to make the interception and also bring it back for 6.
And he is so good that we've seen teams absolutely stay away from throwing the ball at him. Here, he's just reading the quarterback's eyes the entire way, makes a great play on the football, and turns it into 6.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on second down.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play, backwards a yard.
They had 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Jameis to throw it. They complete it to Hill. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 45-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Winston. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 24-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick six just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
They'll run on first down. It's Scott. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. So both teams trade touchdowns in the 3rd as well. Just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Throwing, Winston. And he'll get this underneath to Scott. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
On first down, Scott. 83 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Scott with it again on 2nd. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Weston Scott, his first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Saints are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
set to begin their next drive. The Rams offense at the line. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the fourth quarter. And a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. Peyton Turner, such an athletic rusher, and you saw it on that stop.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
For the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the gun, here's Stafford. That'll be caught. It's Kupp. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He's up to 88 yards receiving in the ballgame now, and he's got a first down.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
On first down, Stafford here. He gets this into the hands of Kupp once again. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And he powers through the first wave, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes in the run game, you can make the argument the quickness beats size. And how about the example right here?
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now Stafford. And his throw here is incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive, stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the fourth down.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Winston.
Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Now Winston. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner. We watched them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
125 yards rushing for him now as this sensational afternoon continues.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. To throw is Winston. Touchdown! Taysom Hill from 21 yards away. And the Saints have taken a fourth-quarter lead. Wants to try to end the PAT. And that will make this a 4-point game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Stafford, throw right side, going to be caught by Higbee. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Here's Stafford.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3-and-out.
Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it.
And he is going to have the Rams first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
11 yards on the pickup, and that leads to a Los Angeles first down. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Again, it's Stafford.
And he is going to be taken down. They got it. As that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Pete Werner in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. To throw is Stafford. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'm guaranteeing he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now Stafford.
He forces one there. It's a potential dagger as it's intercepted.
Picked up by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu.
And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. Well, you really had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it, and that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball.
Scott with it again on second.
It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with third and still 7 yards to go. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on third. Now Winston. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
I absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Stafford. He'll get this one to Cup, complete. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Now it's Stafford. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Trying to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Stafford now to throw.
And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints have just about sewn up this football game.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee. They put up their goal at the beginning of the season, and that was to win 7 games, and now they've accomplished that mission.
And congratulations to them for achieving their goal. They have to finish the season strong, but you got to think that going forward for next year, they're going to jump that number up a little bit higher.